Okay, so you can probably like visually see my palms sweating through the footage here because I have one heart, and yeah, I have one heart. The game does not restore your hearts between levels, so things can get a little tense at
Oh,
times.
if I were in this situation, I would just get myself killed and
No,
just start the level fresh.
this is not a game for babies. You need every life. Look, I game over by the end of this playthrough. Okay, you need
Hmm.
every life that you can get your hands on. So
Is there like no infinite lives cheat or something?
I don't know, but I'm not using one. I do wind up
Fair
like
enough.
save stating my way to victory through the final stage, but that's because fuck Storm Temple, okay? Fuck Storm Temple and the Wishing Engine for that matter. But like okay, this is in terms of difficulty and difficulty curve, this is a very old school game. I would call it Nintendo hard. Okay?
So
Uh,
it starts off fairly decently, gets a little bit harder, and then it just spikes up.
Yeah, yeah, the difficulty curve gets pretty steep from here on. Once we get into the sky levels, ugh. And it's not just general difficulty either. Some of the physics gimmicks that they use in the later levels get pretty wonky, to tell you the truth. Like there are times when you have to deal with wind tunnels and bouncing physics, and it just becomes like difficult to get through sections that can't even kill you. um, so yeah, it's that kind of problem. But we don't have to deal with that now because this is the lumber mill stage, and it's all pretty basic conveyor belt and jumping past um, moving saw blade traps.
Why are you pink?
Because
Because he has the power
I
Oh,
up.
you
have
have the
another
final
one of the
flower.
many generic projectile power-ups, which
Oh,
become
okay.
all the more important as you go through the later levels, because not only are there enemies like the one I just killed that have like really annoying projectile patterns of their own, but there are also enemies that you can only kill with projectile weapons, and they become a major problem during the final stage. But for now, we just have these frickin' flute things. Oh, damn it! And of course, whenever you get hit, you lose the projectile weapon. That becomes so much of a problem that during the final stage, like right smack at the end of the game, they introduce like power-up stations that are surrounded by these spinning lights, and that means that you can grab them without them going away. Ugh. You would think that the bad guys with the spiked helmets would damage you when you jump on them. That's the visual cue that I get from that anyway. And for the longest time, I thought that was the case. No, they just take 3 hits to kill.
Enemies with spikes on their head that don't actually deal damage to you when you jump on them give me trust issues.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Understandably so.
It's one of those things like, yeah, you kind of think you get with this very basic thing that the game seems to be trying to tell you, but eh. Well, I have 9 lives, but I'm down to 1 heart again.
Yeah, so then you die and now you're at full life and not in 8 lives.
If I were close enough to a mid-level checkpoint, I might even do that, but the thing is, it's so hard to get lives in this game. The actual lives that you can find around the levels are hidden increasingly more difficult. Oh, fuck, damn it.
You just got off screen.
Yeah. These pipe
That's kind of bullshit.
Okay, these pipe things with the bugs, they always aim directly at you. The only protection you have is knowing the timing of the shot that they make, because they fire in a very regular pattern, unwaveringly. So you have to keep the timing in mind and avoid the shot.
So you, like, what you were talking about with the lives and stuff remind me of when I play Mega Man and I get to the point where an E-Tank is a more valuable resource than a life. So I would rather die instead of using an E-Tank to survive. Only I guess this is backwards that.
There is no
maybe.
E-Tank in this game.
There
What
is
there
no
are the heart upgrades that I've been hunting down, and believe me, by the final stage, you're gonna need every single fucking one of those. the final boss specifically, because it is so easy to take damage during the final boss, and actually hitting the thing is fiddly as hell, and every heart container you pick up throughout this game gives you just a little bit more margin for error, but I guarantee you will be almost dead on a full 7 heart life bar by the time you get through that boss on a blind run. And you know what?
That sounds pretty annoying.
You know what?
But Lewis, I got on my first try, so that means this game is easy. You're just bad at video games.
The fact that the game has a live system doesn't even really matter for the final boss, though. Like, even the fact that we've got a password system doesn't matter for the final boss. You know what this game does when you game over? It enters the password for you. So you just have to go into the password menu and click accept. And the latest...
I love it when games do... I mean, I'd rather they just don't have passwords, but... it makes me very happy when they do that for you, because it just saves you so much time.
So as long as you don't turn the game off, you don't even need to write the password down. The latest password that you acquired will be entered for you. So if you die to the final boss, you'll have the password like right before the final boss. Although I certainly hope to God you didn't like get a password right before the final boss that leaves you with 1 heart, because then you're screwed and have to go back to other levels and grind for hearts or lives or both. But yeah, the passwords do preserve the number of heart containers you've collected and all, and the number of lives you had. Ugh.
How long are the passwords?
About 7 letters, I think.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, it's like
the ones I hated were like the 5 rows worth of passwords. It's like
the super passwords in Crash Bandicoot. Goddamn.
Do you want to know which ones I actually don't like? Because I just was thinking about Mega Man. Mega Man had those weird grid things where you had to put like the blue dots and the red dots in the grid. I hate those because they're impossible to write down. I mean, granted, like your 20-character password where you don't know if the O is a 0 or whatever, that's annoying. But I can at least write that down. I can't write down a square with blue dots and red dots when I only have a pencil with me that's not colored. And
yeah, I get you.
I mean, I've never played a Mega Man game where I actually needed to use the password because it's all been like Wii.
Well, what I would do is I would just draw the grid slightly, or I would just do a thing of where it's like R for red, B for blue, and then just a 0 for nothing.
Yeah, but
so
that's...
It'd be like R000B or something.
Yeah, but then what if you turn the paper upside down?
Can I just say, fuck the guys with the helmets, though, because not only do they take multiple hits to hit, but a lot of the times when they're like running back and forth... Oh, damn it, I died again.
Are they spitting bees at you?
Something like that, yeah.
Gross.
But like, half the time when you try to hit them, okay, they don't just run back and forth down a set route. They will actively try to avoid you. Which sounds like it would make them smart, but really what it means is they continue running back and forth, but they'll like reverse course halfway down their prescribed route and make it extremely easy for you to mistime your jump and hit them along the side instead of on the top. And of course that means you take damage, so their evasion becomes their offense. It's... Oh, damn it. Stupid bug-shooting bastards. And it only gets more annoying from here.
That's the most determined turtle I've ever seen in my life.
You see, when you're playing this like an old school game, just, you know, writing down the passwords and trying again at your leisure, or putting it down when you feel like you've had enough, it's all pretty fun. When you're sitting down trying to record this all in as few shots as possible, it can be a pretty stressful experience. So I didn't have as pleasant a time playing Pandemonium for recording as I did just playing it for the hell of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's always the case when you're recording games. It's like you don't want to fail too much because now you're wasting your own time more than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would totally accept, like, so many of the deaths that I suffered while recording this if I if I were just playing it on my own time, but because I'm recording, I want to record better runs through the levels than I'm necessarily doing on my first attempt. So I think I played every level like 4 or 5 times while recording this. And keep in mind, these miserable performances that you're watching are the good ones. So, Yeah.
So wait. So what you're saying is you should play the game more than once and then record it. I don't get it.
What I'm saying is, the first time that I played through these levels, my performance was awful. And of course, stuff like that sucker punched me. These saw blades have started moving up and down while you're going through the elevator.
So what you're saying is we should play games once we know them really well and
Well,
have
well,
more
okay,
to,
hold.
more
How
to
do you,
off. What,
Wait.
I think maybe as a turtle you're supposed to be able to withdraw into your shell. That's the only thing I can think of. But I never figured out how to do it. So
Yeah, because that's just if you were on one hit left, screw you. It looks like. I don't. How?
I think there might be a button that pulls you into your shell and makes you immobile but invincible.
what's the measure of downloadable content? Is it a secret third character?
That's
Can we
almost
unlock Shenlong?
that's almost as good as Pokemon having the PSN Cure Berry.
What was it like? Summer of 2012 when the PSN just blew up and nobody knew what to do with their lives.
So everyone Let's Playing Pokemon around that time saw the PSN Cure Berry in Gen 2, and they were just like, bet you wish Sony had one of those.
Yeah, everyone made that joke.
Yeah.
Goon Honcho.
So like, I jumped into this boss fight and immediately took a hit, and I was like, no, I'm not accepting that. I've got a save state like right outside the level. So fuck you, Honcho. There are only 3 bosses in this game, and of the 3 of them, the only good one is the last one. And the last one is a pain in the ass. So, anyway, what you need to do for this guy is first activate this switch, and it inflates this balloon all the way on the other side of the stage. And here's the thing, okay? You don't have to worry about the boss itself catching up to you, because he always pauses to swing his hammer. What you really have to worry about are the goddamn saw blades. If you're running toward them, it's not such a big deal. You can jump over them easy enough if you get the timing. If you're running the other way, though, the jump becomes absurdly difficult. And this is another stage where, like, playing as Nikki makes life so much easier for you, because with that double jump, you actually have a ghost of a chance of jumping over it in this direction.
Oh yeah, because if you're jumping alongside them, you have to.
If you're playing as Fargus, the timing is so goddamn specific.
Yeah, because they run slower than you do, or.
But the real problem is when you hit the boss when you hit the boss in the head, when you jump on his head, you get sent flying to the side, and there's a good chance you'll get sent flying directly into one of the goddamn air balloons. That was just me intentionally tanking a hit because I didn't want to deal with it.
It also kind of looks like it's somewhat random, or at least hard to control, which side you go to. So it seems like trying to keep yourself going clockwise or counterclockwise, whichever way you like better, is not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah. So Honcho is a bastard, basically, but he's dead now. I beat him.
Can he get hit by the saw blades after you kill him?
I don't know. Probably not, though.
Hey, away from
Well, we don't have to deal with another boss for a good long while. That's not going to make the game any less annoying, though. See you all next part.